How's it going, all you guys and girls in the Illumination? Time to jump aboard the Loom train. It's me, it's JJD. JJ Double J, the Illuminator here, this sweet one. Also known by almost countless other aliases and nicknames. But we won't get into that right now. Listen, I don't mean to sound like a broken record. And I talked about this once or twice before in the last 5 years, but honestly, I just don't see any reason that people need to keep vlogging about the same places. And I'm not really talking about, some guy, named Zephyrin that goes over and vlogs about Disney, and then some other guy named Xavier goes over and vlogs about Disney. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the same guy vlogging about the same place over and over and over again. I mean, come on, give it a rest. And then you got people who think they're as big as, guy A, and they go to the same place and they vlog about the same things over and over and over. I'm not just talking about once. How many times can you go to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and vlog about that stuff? How many times can you go to the Ripley's Believe It or Not Wax Museum? You know what I mean? How many times can the same person vlog about the same things? And I'm not talking about being in the same place and talking about other things. I'm talking about how many times can you ride a ride and vlog about it? I mean, number one, if you're 40-something years old and you still think going to one of these parks, is really, something that, a 12-year-old should already be thinking about having, being too old for. I mean, come on, there's something wrong with you. There's really something wrong with you. Before you realize it, you're going to be 65 years old, no one in your life, and what do you have to show for it? No retirement, no nothing. I mean, come on. Yeah, we all want to do things that we want to do. But come on, some people really need to grow up. I can understand it's the first time you've ever been somewhere. You want to vlog about it. But for people that go to these places week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out, and still vlogging about the same places, this whole country, this whole world has so many places. If your channel is about travel, but you're always traveling to the same place and vlogging about the same place, give it a rest. How do you think you're going to get the same people watching you all the time? People are going to say, hey, enough is enough. How many times do I got to see this place? It's not like you go somewhere, you sit in a park, and you talk about different things all the time. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, okay, well, how many times could you go to Route 66 and vlog about it? How many times can you go to, a movie theater and vlog about it? Or, you know what I mean? It's just, it's not 2010 anymore. This stuff is not new to anyone anymore. It's just not new. There's so much about this country, so much about your area that people don't know about. To not have a real job, yeah, and I'll say it, to not have a real job, a 9-to-5 real job with real benefits, real pay coming in, and think that YouTube is going to last the rest of your life. It's not. I guarantee you, someday YouTube will not be as popular. It's going to be so oversaturated that it's going to be gone. I mean, even looking at the analytics for my small, minuscule little channel, and the majority of people that watch me are over 40 years old. I don't have a young audience. What's going to happen? This isn't going to be the same in 10 years. People move on. And these big channels, 300,000 viewers and stuff, they're going to move on too, these people that watch. Because they're eventually going to say, gee, it's time for something new. You ever see a TV show that's #1 in the ratings, but by season 7, 8, 9, they're not #1 anymore? Because the storylines, people have seen it, and now the storylines are getting watered down, and people look for something new to watch. And they find it. So in closing, me with my nasal voice because my sinuses are all stuffed, in closing, find something new to vlog about. Listen to your audience. Do what you want to do, but at the risk of losing your audience. And we all know people don't want to lose their audience when YouTube is their meal ticket. Plain and simple. Anyway, I'm off to the races. Say Laversky. I love you all. Stay safe. Be good to yourselves. This is the Illuminator, and I'll be back.
Good.